love your outfit. I'm just getting things situated. Early. Hey, it better be early than late. Yeah. Oh, nice. I love it. See, I'm just a simple fire elf. That's all I'm in my life. Play with fire. I don't capture no ghosts. I leave that up to you.
She's doing science over here, look.
You're doing science soon. But I
Oh, I
don't.
love your ears.
Oh, thank you. 100% au natural.
See?
But I'm just a simple fire elf. This is all I do all day, every day is start fires. But you gotta make sure that you do it safely and properly. Otherwise, you end up in situations like this.
See? I tell you about this place is awesome. When you get your college book, man, come back. Look.
Hello. Hi there. How are you? Doing all right. How about you? Hello. I'm not starting yet, but I'm gonna get a tape circle going in just.
Was that mine? It has to you make the fake
What do you mean they're fake? They're not fake. They're 100% all natural.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna be doing stuff with fire.
What?
I know, right? I'm gonna be making magical science. Hey guys. If you guys are even watching. Not quite ready yet, guys.
Hey, I'm gonna use some pickles.
Yeah, we're gonna be using pickles for this experiment.
What? Pickles.
Right. Here. So I do recommend if you guys are to come to this station, please stay outside the red box on the floor.
Okay.
That is all I ask of you guys. Like I said, I'm not quite ready to go yet. Okay. So if you guys want to check out the station over there, they're doing some fun stuff over that way.
Darwin. Hold on. Wait. Here? No, right there.
Alright. Howdy there. How you guys doing tonight? My name is Finn the Fire Elf. I got all sorts of things and fun that make the science magic. Alright. So, I do ask, obviously you guys are outside the red box. We just stay outside the red box through the whole performance of this. Alright. Now, alright. Who likes fire? You guys like fire? Alright. Alright. So, the fun thing about fire is that it keeps us warm. Keeps us doing things we want to do. Alright? Now, it also can be really, really bad when it comes to forest fires. And then we get a fun thing known as a fire tornado. Now, our lovely thing here is green due to actually borax. Any chemical can turn fire different colors. Now, not any fire tornado can be made. You can't just put a spinner on a thing in a cup and hope it works. You actually need a lot of ventilation and a lot of holes, which is why you actually get a lot of fire tornadoes in forest fires, because you have that airflow coming outside the red lines, please. You want to make sure that you're kind of playing it safe with these if parents decide to do these experiments at home. But yeah, so airflow is very important to this experiment. So you just want to make sure you got a nice bit of wire mesh, whatever have you. Oh, well, we'll let that burn out. All right. Now, how many of you guys like gummy bears?
Me.
All right. Now, this one I like to call the gummy bear sacrifice. All right. I want everyone to shout a color, and I'm going to pick one out of there, all right?
Look.
Yellow. And here are a lot of blues.
Blue.
All right. This is our sacrifice to the gummy bear gods.
That was like blue.
All right. Now, we're going to place this in our lovely test tube here. Oh. If it wants to do what it's supposed to do, that would be great. Now, due to glucose within the gummy bear itself, which is also known as sugar, it interacts with the chemical compound in here that was melted down, which releases a lot of smoke, heat, and light energy. So it's a lot of potential energy stored in this, and it gets really, really, really hot.
Whoa, that is so.
I know, right? And this guy's still burning over here, so I don't know what he's doing. All right. Now we're gonna save this one for last. This one is the one where that red marker comes in handy for. All right. Now, how many of you eat pickles at home? Who likes pickles here? All right. We got quite a few. Okay, who hates pickles and wants to see it electrocuted? All right. Now, what's really fun about this guy right here is the salt content within your pickle. Now, you wouldn't think that, like, oh, you would be able to electrify a pickle, but it's due to that salt content interacting with the electricity within it. And give it a second here because it's got to get through all the juices first. If it wants to work. Sometimes it doesn't want to work. There you go. Due to the electricity interaction with salt, it actually produces a lot of light potential. So you are getting a lot of light out of this little pickle here. Alright. Now we're going to shut it off. I'm going to waft this fun smell towards you. This is what electrified pickle smells like, if you guys can smell it. I'll give it a second. It'll come through.
That smells like a lollipop.
I don't know if I'd describe it as a lollipop, but that's okay. But yeah, so we got our lovely pickle here that has now been electrified. So,
That's not a good
there we go. Alright. Now for my favorite one. Is everyone behind the red tape? Everyone behind the red tape, alright? I'm going to put the dome on this guy. I'm going to take off my necklace. Because this is where fire safety is very important. Now, how many of you have at least heard of a barn fire at all? What? Barn fire. The barn fire that was started in Wisconsin or Illinois. One of the two of them. They both, I think, started with a barn fire. Now, this experiment comes in with our super secret science compound here that actually can be found within everyday things, such as sawdust, coffee creamer, things like that. A lot of things in your house are actually really, really flammable right now. So we're going to light our trusty candle here, and we're going to show the interaction, what happens when you provide air particles between what you're looking at, all right? And like I said, please stay behind the red tape. I do not want anyone to get hurt.
Wow!
Exactly why we have the red tape.
That's awesome!
So that's the interaction that happens when you have the air particles between the fire. So thank you. We also have one last experiment. It's one of our little side experiments here. Now, I don't know if the parents at all of YouTube, like a couple years back, give or take, whoosh tubes were very, very big on YouTube for a little while. And what that is basically when you take any kind of form of alcohol or fuel, whatever give you, and you stick it inside the tube.
Where you pour something in there, and then you light it.
Close up our fuel because fire safety, everyone. We're going to shake it up.
That's really cool.
You want to make sure every side gets coated. You want to make sure that there's fuel in the air particles. All right.
I really want to see this one. This one's cool.
Now, it's what the whoosh tube is. It's still going a little bit if you notice. Usually when you notice it's on a bigger scale, so you get a lot more sound. But that is the set. I'm going to reset it real quick. If you guys want to come back in just a hot second to get this off. Thank
Sixth grade. We did all sorts of cool stuff.
Sounds like it.
Change the max better, right? Do they have any?
Stay behind the red tape, please. There's a lot of fire stuff and a lot of flammable. We don't want you getting hurt. Alright, I'm just resetting up my spiel here. But do you want to pinpoint something and see what you want to see? And I'll do my whole thing about it. You want this one right here? Alright, so this guy right here So how many of you guys have heard of barn fires at all? Or at least know of the barn fire that started the Great Chicago Fire? No? No? No. Okay. Well, barn fires are actually really, really common, especially back in the olden days. Because a lot of them would use torches for light and things like that. Wait, I'm going on the wrong spiel here. It tells you where I'm at tonight. Alright, welcome back to the real world. Alright. Either way, this can lead into the same thing. So a lot of times when the barn fires actually start a lot of forest fires. You know, it can lead into that. So the thing you might not have heard of, which is kind of a slightly rare but also not uncommon situation, which is something known as a fire tornado. We're going to get our fuel set up here. Close that up. Fire safety, everyone, so please stay behind the red lines. I'm going to iterate it a couple times through this. We don't want you getting hurt. So we're going to light this guy. So what I have underneath is actually borax. Now, any kind of compound can change the color of your fire. Though you can't just make a fire tornado with any old garbage can. You need the wire. Now, why do you need the wire? Because you actually need it so that way the airflow of the garbage can get through. And that's actually why forest fires, you're more likely to see a fire tornado than anywhere else, is because the trees act as a mesh for the fire. So we can get this going pretty high. So I think I didn't add enough fuel this time. That's okay. And the borax, unfortunately, isn't burning free, but normally it would burn green others. Yeah, that's our fire tornado right here. Now, if you turn your attention over here to our lovely stand, I'm going to be pulling out our good old friend, the pickle. Now, how many of you guys like pickles? Okay, fine. How many of you don't like pickles and would rather see them electrocuted? All right. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Finn, why are we electrocuting pickles here? Is it like it won't do anything? Now, I say to that, it's not nothing will happen. It depends on how much salt content is in your pickle. Sorry, parents, that might have sounded inappropriate. All right. Now, I'm going to flip my lovely switch here, and it's not going to seem like it's doing anything. But give it a hot second here as it charges up and it goes through the juices a little bit. And soon we should be starting to see light or smoke coming through. There we go.
Got it.
So because of the salt content, salt is actually very much conductive of electricity. So you'll get a lot of light coming off of your pickle when you're sitting here electrocuting it. All right. So yeah, now that it's filled with smoke, because you'll also get the smoke from the pickle juices kind of evaporating. And that's where this lovely smell comes from. Gonna waft it towards you guys. That's electrified pickle right there for you. Now we're gonna bring our focus over this guy here. This one's gonna take a hot second. Oh, there's that much stuff over there, I guess. Alright. Now I'm gonna take my fun chemical compound here, which is actually gonna work in tandem with the flame here in just a second. If I can get any of it out. This is a small container. They got me new stuff this time around, so we're working with it. If it'll let me. If it doesn't seem to want to let me. Alright. Now this fun chemical is called potassium chlorate. Do not eat this stuff. I don't recommend it. And also, do not, unless without parents' permission or parental guidance on these experiments, do not try this at home. I cannot overstate. You will burn off your eyebrows and look silly in school photos for the next 2 years. Alright. Now I'm going to light my little, not Bunsen burner, Bunsen burner here. No alcohol lamp. And we're going to let that sit for a second. So keep that in mind in just in a little bit here. Alright. Now we got a tube here. Or a gallon, jug, whatever you want to call it. Now, parents, YouTube a couple years back, you guys remember when it was really big to see these giant tubes that would be making noise with like light in them for a little bit? This is actually that, but on a much smaller scale because unfortunately we do not have the resources for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our fuel of any form here, ethanol is what gives you, and we're going to put some into our lovely tube here. And we want to close the cap on this because, again, fire safety. We don't want any issues here. All right, we're going to close this up. We're going to shake it around. We want to aerate that fuel. Because that's what's going to give us this reaction, alright? Alright. And that is the whoosh tube. What ends up happening is actually the reaction of the fuel in the air. So what normally it does, it'll sit there and go off for a little while, and it'll make a popping noise. Now, unfortunately, it's a little too loud in here to hear it, but that is the chemical reaction going on there. All right, now how many of you guys, that's a little spicy, how many of you guys like gummy bears? Me! Okay. We're going to bring our attention back to this one right here, now that it's all ready to go. Now, pick a color, just shout a color of a gummy bear. We are going to sacrifice this gummy bear to the fire gods. Alright, so we're going to... Now what's going on here is the glucose inside the gummy bear, also known as sugar, is interacting with our fun chemical compound here, which releases heat, light, and smoke energy, potential energy out. And then we get a very deeply fried gummy bear that has now been successfully sacrificed. Is it edible? No, it is not edible. I do not recommend you eat. Now, for this last one, I have to stress, do not, under any circumstance, pass that red tape. If you do, like I said, I can guarantee your eyebrows will be burned off, and we do not want that. I tell your parents want those school photos with your eyebrows burned off. Alright. Now we're going back to barn fires now. Kind of at the beginning of my spiel. Who's all heard of the barn fire that started the Great Chicago Fire? Okay, got a few people. Alright. Now what ends up happening in those barn fires, they use a lot of old lights in dealing with their with how they see at night, especially back in ye olden days. Now, unfortunately, thankfully, my family no longer uses them, as we are elves and we have magic. But, you know, I can't exactly use magic in the human realm, now can I? So, we're going to light our candle here, alright? Now, again, everyone behind the red tape? We're all behind the red tape? Good? Alright. Ready? Yeah. And that is how we double fireball. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Yes, it's very dangerous. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend you do this at home. Specifically this experiment. Please, be safe.
Mom, we should have brought these
Yeah, you can, yeah.
As long as it wants to go to Spider-Man thing, I'm okay.
Hello there. How's your night going? Apparently doing some with fire.
Are you on TikTok? Like
I do technically have a TikTok, but I don't do this for TikTok. But if you want to follow it, I do a lot of art stuff. But I'll probably be posting videos of this too. I don't have a pen on me, so
here, you want me to
okay. So it's under Mega Moo Does Art. Oh my gosh, sorry. You're fine. Also, internet in here is not Mega Moo? Mega Moo. So like Mega Moo. Okay. It's an old nickname. I just run with it. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I'll be posting all of this. I do have a live stream running on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yep. Oh, cool. With the same name. So if you guys want to see it or watch any more versions, it will be uploaded there as well. I'm just hoping this all gets on video because I'll be very sad if it's in slightly the wrong position.
Oh no, that pickle's really burnt.
I know. Do you want to eat the pickle? Because I don't think you do. Oh.
Are you close enough?
There's a magic show.
Yeah. I have no viewers, but that's okay. I'm a very small channel. So
What's your channel?
Megan Luda's art. I don't post on there very often anymore.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah. I will be also uploading all clips to TikTok if I can. We'll see depending on what good ones I get. So,
Those are some giant eyeballs.
yes, very giant eyeballs. I'm just resetting up here, so just give me a hot second. I'll be able to get you guys ready for my lovely demo.
We've been just watching it every time for the most part. I didn't see this one. This is the only one I didn't see.
That one I do right at the beginning, so that one's not as impressive as the fireball. But
Are we eating pickles after you electrocuted them?
scoop, scoop.
You ever eat an electrified pickle?
No, but I worry about the taste and the sanitization of it because
I know that part, yeah.
there are a little bit of rusty nails going on. I don't think I'm gonna this. We've been doing the electrified pickle for several years since we started doing science nights, so.
See stuff on the pickle on fire.
Yep.
Do you do different things every time?
So I was set up, like, I'm mostly the fire person, so I do mostly fire stuff. But we try to variety it up every so often. Like, I've done color changing bottles, things like that. It's a real good time here.
I saw something where it's like, it's kind of like that, but then it goes to a tube. Like a long tube. Do you want me to video this one for you and send
Oh,
it to you?
I got a live stream going on.
Oh, you're good.
actually. Yeah. See, I thought I have no viewers, but that's fine.
If you would get a person. You know what I mean? With the, like, kind of that, this plasma thing.
Oh, the wushu, yeah. So there's a couple of different varieties of the wushu. We're just doing the budget version.
Nope, she's reset it, so it's going to be all new.
It's kind of hard. It'll evaporate in a second. So, Alright. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Finn the Fire Elf. I'm here in the human realm for one night and one night only. So, now I ask that everyone please look at the floor. There is red tape. Please stand behind the red tape. I do not want burnt eyebrows happening here. I don't think parents would be very, very happy about their kids having burnt off eyebrows in their school photos. Alright. So, how many of you guys like fire? Alright. Alright. Well, do I have a show for you then? Alright, we're going to start with this guy. We're going to bring your attention to my lovely trash can here. I know, it's wonderful. So, now we're going to be talking about a little phenomenon known as fire tornadoes. So, this is not an uncommon, but it is also not very common situation that happens a lot during forest fires. So, now you don't need any old garbage can. You actually want to make sure you have one that has all the holes in it. Otherwise, this will not work. So we're going to get old spin here.
Whoa.
And you're going to see that the fire is actually going to start turning upwards towards the top of the garbage can. Now how this happens is actually the air interacting with the fire in a very particular way. And that's why forest fires is most common to see a fire tornado, because the trees actually act as the mesh that is around this garbage can.
What if you just spin it around faster?
You want me to finish? That's That's a little bit hard because this thing likes to fly off of here. I don't think we want a flaming garbage can going towards anyone. This is as fast as this goes, so. Yeah. Now, normally the compound underneath is actually borax, and any other kind of compound can actually change your color of fire. So things like copper, things like that, will change it. Normally it'd be green, but I think it burnt through a little bit, so I'll have to reset that part. Oh, there we go. All right. I'm gonna bring your attention over here to my lovely pickle in a dome. Now, who likes pickles? Woo! All right, who does not like pickles and would rather see it die? All right. Now, the fun part about this experiment is due to the amount of salt in your pickle. Inappropriate jokes you might get out of this. Now, we have our pickle stuck to the electrifying sticks. Now, you may be asking yourself, Finn, why are we electrifying a pickle? Well, because it's entertaining, and it also releases a lot of energy. Now, I flipped the switch, and we're going to wait for a second while it kind of goes through the juices, all right? What's nice is it holds a lot of potential energy, and the salt in your pickle actually interacts with electricity because salt is conductive. And here we go. We got the pickle lighting up here, releasing a lot of that potential energy.
Whoa!
Glowing pickle.
It is a glowing pickle.
I want to eat the pickle.
I do not recommend eating the pickle. It is on rusty nails. I don't think you want tetanus. All right, now we're going to turn this off, and I'm going to release the dome, which is going to release smoke, which is going to tell you what electrified pickle smells like. All right. Now, I'm going to start up this experiment here. Now, it's going to take a second though to fully take effect because we have to melt the compound inside.
Okay, that's just stuck here.
So I'm just going to get that situated right here. We're going to move my little alcohol lamp underneath, and we're going to let that sit for about a little bit here. A couple minutes, give or take. In the meantime, we're going to swab out the tube so it's a little melted. But this right here is a gallon jug. Now, parents, do you remember a couple of years ago when you have like the big tubes that were very popular on YouTube where you see a lot of light and sound coming from them? And you're probably wondering, well, how did they do that? Well, that's this, but on a very smaller scale. Now, this is what we dub the whoosh tube. Now, unfortunately, it's a little too loud in here to actually hear it because it's on such a small scale. But at the very least, you'll get the visual of the whoosh tube. Now, we're going to put our alcohol, we're going to cap it because fire safety, everyone. And again, please look for the lines on the floor and make sure you are behind them. I don't want anyone's eyebrows burning off. All right, we're going to close the cap on this. We're going to shake it up. We're just going to aerate our fuel here. We want to make sure that's the case, otherwise you're just going to end up melting your poor tube. And that is not a fun experiment, unless you really like melting stuff. Alright, we're going to open it up and give a little sound. Again, do not try this at home unless you have parental permission or parental supervision. That is the whoosh tube.
Whoa.
Well, we're going to wait. Oh, that's not good. There we go. All right. That's done anyway. We're going to let this cool off so it doesn't fully melt. Now, how many of you guys like gummy bears? All right. I want you all to pick a color and yell it at yellow. Green. I'm hearing a lot of green. So the green gummy bear will be sacrificed to the fire gods. All right. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready?
Yeah! Look at
Mr. Gummy Bear! No! Mr. Gummy Bear! The green is dying, Mr. Gummy Bear!
This is what happens when the sugar inside the gummy bear interacts with our chemical compound. It's going to release heat, light, and a bit of smoke because of all the potential energy stored in there due to the chemical reaction. This is safe for people, so don't be worried. You're not going to be breathing in anything weird. Now our gummy bear is successfully roasted amongst the fire. No, I do not recommend eating it. Please do not eat the gummy bear after this experiment. Because it's melted and it will hurt. All right, now, this is the one where absolutely please step behind the red line. I do not want burnt eyebrows and I don't want anyone getting hurt. All right. So I'm going to top off my chemical formula here a little bit. All right, Now, how many of you know about the great barn fire that burned down Chicago about like 100 or so years back? Alright, got a few people. Now, barn fires were very, very common back in the olden days because they liked to use fire and torches to light up their barns. Now, what do barns have? Wood. Hay and sawdust, yes. So, now this is a similar compound. Now this is one that you can find pretty much anywhere. There's a lot of flammable stuff in your household. Now, of course, we don't use torches anymore, so it's not as big of a concern as it was 100 or so years ago. Pardon me, I need to go off there. Alright. And like I said, everyone, please make sure you are away from that red line. I don't want anyone getting hurt.
That's even a red line.
The candle does not want to light apparently. Alright. Now this is my favorite one to do just because of the big reaction it gets. Are we ready? Yeah! Alright.
Yes. I love that.
I perform.
I want to do it again. Do it again.
I'm going to reset this and I'm going to take a quick break here just so I can sip some water, alright? Thank you all for coming to the science party. I hope you guys are having a good night here. What's up? Oh, the pickle gets electrocuted. Let me see how many pickles I got. Do you want to see the pickle?
I want to see a pickle.
Alright.
What was that? What was that?
Coffee creamery.
Coffee creamery.
Alright. I'm just doing a quick reset here. But I'm gonna do. I would have pickles to do a quick round in between my whole set here. Because someone was asking about this poor pickle that's getting electrocuted.
Dahlia!
Alright. We're gonna put some safety features on. Now, this is the one time I'm gonna ask one of the audience members who wants to flip the switch. Alright. I'm gonna say, Mr. Man, right here, come on up. Alright, ready? Flip that switch! Nope. It doesn't seem like it's doing anything now, but give it a second here. Well, that's actually from the salt interacting with the electricity because salt is conductive. So, make sure you got coated in salt next time you decide to touch a live wire because it'll end to very bad things. But yeah, that's the... Granted, that one didn't have as much of a reaction as some of the other ones. I think it's too small. But there's a fun smell that comes with it. We'll open it up a little bit here. You might be hearing it, smelling it through the store. It's kind of a little stinky. So that is what happens when you electrocute a pickle. This is just my in-between. I'm still going to be taking my water break. I'll be back to reset this all up. You have a question there, young man?
No, you said it here.
No. No. Here, I'll be running the pickle again, not to worry. I'm just going to let it cool down for a sec. Let's see any of the YouTube chat. Oh, hey. Plum Wings, hello. You said for 705. Oh. Ooh.
Is there a raffle that the kids can enter their names into?
That's probably up at the front counter.
That's right. Okay, thank you.
So how you guys doing tonight? I love your outfits, by the way. Super cute.
I like your ears.
Oh, thank you. They're 100% real. They only look fake because I'm in the human realm right now, so humans don't fully get the gist of magic because there is no magic here. There's just science. So I have to show off my powers somehow. So that's why I'm my experiments here. You look like you have a question, young man. No? Okay. they gave me matches to use and I haven't used them yet. You gotta love it. Walk a little bit. See, this is my performance, just me fumbling with it. Just making sure I got my situation set up here. I am live streaming on YouTube. So any clips you guys want to re-see for later, it is on Mega Moo Does Art on YouTube. I don't post a lot. I normally don't post this kind of content, but I thought it was too cool not to share. Let me just get a bit more water because yelling at the top of my lungs for 2 hours, you know. And I've already run this at least 3 times, so I just need a little bit. Alright, so how's everyone's night going? Good? Alright. Doing okay, I'm in the human realm for 1 day and 1 night only, so. By the way, my name is Finn the Fire Elf. It's wonderful to meet you all tonight. Now this is, I think, my 4th time running through this. I got enough pickles, I got enough test tubes to run this at least a couple more times. So, if you guys like what you see, don't hesitate to come on back. But I know my buddy Tim over there is doing some great things over there. You got a question, young man? Unfortunately, no. It's very unsanitary. As much as I'd like to be able to be like, here, eat a fried pickle. Currently, right now, there is rust on this apparatus. I do not recommend. You probably get tetanus and need to go get another shot in your arm. So,
Not like the pickle.
unfortunately, those are all the pickles I have left for however many times people want to see the pickle get electrocuted. Otherwise, I'd be like, here, take a pickle. maybe convince your parents to buy you a jar of pickles tonight so you can eat them at home. A whole jar, to yourself only. Alright. Now I just have a few more things there. Oh, my big lovely container for us. It's great, I love it. Now I do have to preface this by saying please, unless with parental guidance and or supervision or permission, please do not run these at home by yourself. They are very highly dangerous and should only be under the care of a trained professional. I am clearly not that trained professional, but I'm a fire elf, so it don't matter. Alright, there we go. Now I have access to my borax a little bit easier. You know, why am I doing this the hard way? You know, I ask myself that every day. But I just like making my life more difficult for myself. Alright, there we go. So, how many of you know of forest fires? Forest fire, okay. I mean, it's on the news a lot recently, unfortunately. But forest fires are one of the few places where this experiment can be seen in person. Now, do I recommend you go to a forest fire? No, not whatsoever. That's very bad for your health. And anyone else. So we're going to put our little foot apparatus here. Alright, put that on the floor. Make sure you cover, if you do experiments, please make sure to cover any of your fuel sources because you don't want to accidentally cause anything else to set on fire. And that would be very bad. So this right here, in a forest, imagine you're sitting there and suddenly you see a tornado made of fire going past you. You think that would be kind of impossible a little bit. But I'm here to prove that it's not. Now, before we actually get to the spinning of this thing, if you notice kind of a little bit on the right side here, there's a bit of green going on. That's actually the fire's interaction with a bunch of other chemicals. Now, copper and things like that can change the fire chemicals, and they do sell packs to do that to your campfires. But I do not recommend trying to roast marshmallows over it, because you will get the taste of that chemical. Yeah, so we're going to take our apparatus here, and we're going to spin it. You can't do it. You shouldn't do this experiment with any old trash can because you will not get the same effect. You need one that has the mesh outing. And what's kind of cool about this is that the trees act as that mesh outing, which allows the aeration of your flame and able to make your fire tornado. Now, unfortunately, this is the less impressive of my experiments here because there are far more impressive ones coming. Now, I'm going to direct your attention back to my pickle here. Alright, now we skewered this poor pickle. Alright, I know, normally we would eat him. How many of you guys like pickles? Alright, I've got quite a few pickle lovers. This might make you sad a little bit. Now, who does not like pickles? Alright, this one will make you happy. So what we are going to do is electrocute this pickle. Now, you may be asking yourself, Finn, why the heck are we electrocuting a pickle? And to that I say, for entertainment, and also for science. Because the one thing in a pickle that every pickle has is salt. Now, salt is conductive to electricity. So if I, let's say, have Miss Madam come over here, come on over, flip this switch. There you go. Nothing seems to happen, right? Give it a few seconds to go through all those juices the pickle's got, and you will see why it is very important to have that salt. There we go. Yeah, it's electrocuting and releasing a bunch of light.
Inside of the pickle?
So that's actually the electricity itself. It's like lightning in a pickle. So what it's doing is frying. Now that the dome has been successfully filled with smoke here, I'm going to release it up and enjoy the tasty smell of electrocuted pickle. It's so great. We love it. Now you'll probably smell it throughout the building for the rest of the night of you guys being here. I'm just saying. Alright. So, I know I keep jumping back and forth between the ends of the table here, and that's because my experiments are all over the place. Now, I'm going to light this lovely little alcohol lamp here with my little chemical concoction on the inside. Now we're going to let that melt for a second because that's going to take a little bit. We want to make sure it's good and ready for when we sacrifice our gummy bear to the gummy gods. Now, this is a gallon tube here. Now, parents, you might have seen on YouTube at least a couple years ago, give or take, that it was really, really popular to see giant. Now, this is not an experiment, but on a much smaller scale because we do not have the resources to do that. So, I'm going to take my lovely fuel here again. Now, you can use any kind of ethanol, things like that, you know, whatever floats your boat. And we're going to put a little bit in here, right? You don't want to add too much because otherwise you might end up melting the bottle, and that's not good. So we're going to take our cap, we're going to put it on top, and we're going to shake it up. Now we're shaking it up to kind of aerate your ethanol there. Which will make for a nice airy concoction. Now that actually builds up pressure in here, surprisingly, because you're kind of making it from a liquid into a gas. So we're going to place that there. Now please stay outside the red lines there, as this is a very dangerous thing. Exactly. So that is the waste chute. Give it a few seconds here and it'll go on its own. And what ends up happening is because burning through the ethanol, it actually leaves water underneath.
How can you get sacrifice this stuff?
Oh, you'll see in just a second. Yes.
You can do that with like alcohol.
Yes, you can use it for with isopropyl alcohol. You can pretty much do it with any kind of set of plate. And what it'll do is it'll leave behind a watery residue, so you'll see it kind of like dripping right now. Now this guy's a little bit melty, so I'm gonna bring him off to the side. Our concoction's almost warmed up here. And we'll turn our attention back here. We'll wait for that to be completely melted. There's still some chunks in there. You got another question? Okay, I just heard hand go up. Alright. Give us a second here, and alright, glue it out. Now, I want everyone to shout a color. The one I hear the most, I'm picking out of the gummy bears. Alright. We're gonna pop it into our lovely container here, and off it goes. Oh, it's releasing a little bit of liquid. I've never had that happen before. Alright, so what's happening right now here, as it releases a bunch of smoke, is it's because of the sugar / glucose in the gummy bear, it's interacting with our chemical in a way that makes it release the potential light and heat energy, which induces smoke. Now, thankfully, we don't have sprinklers right here, otherwise it would be going off and it would be all wet and it wouldn't be a fun night. Yeah. Also, do not eat the gummy bear after this experiment. I do not recommend. It's a little burnt.
It's not even a
It's melted now, yeah. It's not even a gummy bear. Now, for my favorite experiment of the night, I recommend, actually, I please insist, stay behind the red line. We do not want any burnt eyebrows, burnt hair, burnt faces even, because this can get volatile. And I am but a simply trained professional, not really, but you know, I'll say that I am. Alright, we're gonna light our candle here. Now, how many of you have heard of the barn fire that burnt down Chicago about 100 so years back? Alright, now, the thing about barns back in the olden days, they used a lot of torches, a lot of candles, things like that. And what are in barns? Hay and sawdust. Now, a lot of the chemicals that's in here actually is one you can find in your house today, and there's a lot of chemicals in your house that are flammable, but thankfully we don't use torches anymore, so burning down houses this way isn't as big of a deal, unless for whatever reason you decide you want to deck out your house in candles instead of, you know, light bulbs. So, again, do not try this at home. Are we ready?
Yes.
All right. Oh, I got a little bit of flame left. Hold on. All right, and that is the fireball. Do we have any after show questions? Any questions from the audience? No. All right, what question? I can't get, I'm sorry, I can't get the pickles. You gotta put your mom to get you a dry pickles afterwards. Looks like, so my human answer was, yeah, I got him actually a hot dog. My elven answer is, I'm just in the human realm, so I show off those things, you know, because human brain will take no time that these are actually, that's why I also have to do all my magic and science experiments, because otherwise you can just see light and then, yeah, there's no place, so we don't want that. Unless I've seen on TikTok, I'm like, yeah, no problem, guys. Do we have any viewers in the chat? I doubt we do. Let's see. Nope. All right. No viewers in the chat. How's everyone's night going in the chat? If you guys are seeing this post, post live. How are you guys doing? Just text me in the comments. I'm here all night. You guys will be seeing this experiment at least for the next 2 hours or another hour. Howdy there. How's your night going? How's your guys' night going? Well, is this your first time? Your first time to come here, like, yeah. Unfortunately, we stopped it due to COVID and all that good jazz. But we're glad to be back and showing you some fun science experiments. I'm not sure what their new schedule for it is, but yeah, their soft introduction to it. But usually they're trying to do like Saturday events, like things like free stuff for the kids and the house a little bit. And then also science nights in years past have been at least 3 times a year. So try to do like a Halloween one, usually one closer to like the beginning of spring, and then one during the summer. So, but welcome anyways, it's science class. Always a good time. I'm just getting my set prepped again, so you guys should be able to see it in just a second. And yes, there is an explanation why the pickle is skewered in there. Yeah, he cannot do that, unfortunately. This one is unfortunately attached to rust right now, and I need the rest for myself. What are the gummy bears for? Well, the gummy bears sacrifice, of course. As weird as that sounds.
Also, is that real, dude?
No, it's a shell. So this guy is just a shell missile here. No live animation inside.
So this, but they took all the stuff out.
Yep, pretty much. And that's why we got that guy on display here. Because if it was a live ammunition, I think the U.S. government would be a little concerned. We don't want to blow up anything.
Also, why are those eyeballs so low?
Because they're meant for a Christmas tree. We used to sell them like a couple years back, and you could stick them on your Christmas tree to have goofy eyeballs on your Christmas tree. Wish I had a garbage, but I I'm gonna drink a little bit of water and we're gonna see if we get anyone. Also, by the way, we are streaming this on YouTube. Just a heads up. So if you want to catch any highlights later, I'll upload it on my YouTube channel. I can write that down if you want. Or if you don't care, that's fine. No judgment here. I don't normally post this stuff anyway, so if you end up subscribing to me, you probably get animations that are kind of cringy. So. Alright, let me see how many times I go through them. So,
It's a science store.
we have a bunch of science stuff for science people. So I'm going to wait till we get a couple more people around and then I'll start my set, alright? Well, hello there. Welcome. You guys got your mummy candles going on? Oh yeah, take a look here behind you right now. Take we got the Tesla coil and the Jacob's ladder going on.
See, that's electricity going. See that?
And this is as many people as we're probably going to get until I start doing the demo and then everyone. Alright. Now, before my step begins, I do please ask you look at your feet below. See the red square? Please stand behind those red lines. We don't want anyone's eyebrows getting burned off during this demonstration, and then your school photos are ruined for the next 2 years. I don't think anyone wants that. Alright. My name is Finra Fire Elf, and I'm here to demonstrate magic in a very sciencey way for you. Now, how many guys want fire? Alright. Oh, that poor fish got his head decapitated again. Alright. So, you got a question, young man, or are you just raising your hand? Alright. Love to see the enthusiasm. Alright, so we're going to draw our attention to the garbage can here. Now, it is not any ordinary garbage can. It is a garbage can with mesh on it. That is important to this experiment. Now, this demonstration is actually going to show you something that actually happens in nature. Now, it's more frequent during forest fires. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of these years, but it's going to show you something cool. So we're going to stick our lighter in here, light my alcohol in there. Now, unfortunately, my borax is just not going to interact with the fire, but a lot of times you can have it where you can change the color of your fire by using different chemicals like copper and borax and things like that. But I do not recommend it. Putting them in your campfire if you plan on roasting marshmallows, or at least roast your marshmallows beforehand. Now, I'm going to take my lovely apparatus here and spin it. Now, what you'll see happen is it starts going upwards in a spiral motion. That's what we just a fire tornado. Now, what's neat in nature about it is you'll see a lot of it happen in a lot of highly dense tree area because the air from the trees is actually help aerating it in a circular motion. Now, I can't guarantee it's anything like Sharknado, but you know, at least it seems a little cooler than that movie. And that's the least exciting, unfortunately, experiment of this whole set. So I'm going to draw your attention over here to my lovely dome. Now, you're probably wondering, Finn, why is there a pickle skewered to this poor apparatus? Now, that's the fun part, because it's all for entertainment and science purposes. Now, the most important part of your pickles is to make sure it has a lot of salt in this for this experiment. And also, I'm going to address this here now. If you plan on trying to recreate any of these experiments, please make sure you have parental permission or parental supervision. And if you're an adult, please just make sure you have a fire extinguisher on hand, because things can get out of hand. Now, may I have a volunteer to flip this switch? Okay, you seem very excited. All right, come on up here. All right, ready? Flip it. Now, it doesn't seem like anything's happening in the apparatus, but we're just letting the electricity go through the juices right now through this poor pickle, and you'll see it starts to spark and glow. And basically what's happening is salt is very conductive of electricity. So what it does is basically having electricity shoot through that salt. Now, it seems like this guy might be not as salty as I thought he would be. Okay, he's still going a little bit. Here, we'll flick that guy off if you want to head back to your spot. Now I'm going to bring up this dome, and you guys are going to smell what smells like an electrocuted pickle. So we'll just waft that around to you guys. It's great. It's the loveliest smell in the world. Not really. You'll be smelling it all night while you're here. You probably already smelled it when you walked in the door, because we've done this set a few times. All right. I'm going to draw your attention to this tube right here. This is one of my favorite experiments because I call it the gummy bear sacrifice, because we sacrifice gummies to the gummy lords. Now I'm going to light it up here real quick with my little alcohol lamp. We're going to let the chemical compound in there melt. Now, I do not recommend if you are trying this experiment to eat the gummy bear afterwards because it will make your stomach very, very upset. And you do not want that. My other experiments here. Now, parents, you might have seen... I know you saw me looking at you. Gotta stay behind the line. Now, parents, you might have seen this experiment get very popular on YouTube or whatever, Facebook even, a couple years back where they had long tubes and you get a lot of light going through it, a little bit of a whoosh sound. So that's what this experiment's entailing, but on a much smaller scale because unfortunately, elves do not have the budget to do this experiment on a wide scale. So I'm going to take my lovely alcohol here once more. We're going to dump it a little bit into here. You don't want too much, otherwise it won't aerate properly and you'll just melt your poor container. And no one likes a poor melted container, unless you do, and in which case, to each their own. We're going to close the cap on this and we're going to shake it around. This is what's going to actually help evaporate the alcohol a little bit and turn it into gas, which is going to build up pressure in here, but most importantly, it's going to be aerated. We're going to place him right there, and we're going to grab our handy-dandy torch here because, frankly, I don't want to be too close to this thing myself when it goes off. Or it's not, apparently. It's kind of working. It's not doing what I want it to do. I'm going to run it again. You guys deserve the better experience. I guess that's a good way of showing I put too much alcohol in at that time. That, or I ran the experiment so many times, there's so much water content left in that thing afterwards. Because when you burn through things like fuel and such, what's left afterwards is actually water content. Alright, yeah, he's a spicy boy. I gotta grab my handy tongs here, because he is melting. Yeah, this is called failed experiment number 350. So go over there. So, there we go. That's the loose tube. Alright. We're going to let that burn through a little bit second here, but looks like our concoction here is ready. Now, I want you guys to yell out a color of gummy bear, and that's what we're going to sacrifice. Red. Red. Up in here, and a lot of blue. So, yeah, it's terrible. Now, we're going to stick our lovely gummy bear into this lovely thing. And again, please stay behind the red lines. So this is what happens when our chemical compound interacts with glucose, aka sugar, which releases a lot of light and heat energy, which induces the smoke. And it melts and fries this poor gummy bear. It goes on for a little while. It's entertaining to watch. There we go. Now, please stand behind the red lines. Alright. Now we're going to let that sit because unfortunately that guy is very, very hot now. So I would need my handy dandy tongs and I don't want to mess with it right now. Now for this one, I absolutely, please stand behind the red line. I don't want anyone getting hurt. Alright. Now, how many of you know about the great barn fire that kind of set Chicago on fire? How many of you guys know about that barn fire that started that? If at all. If you guys don't have history class at all. Okay. Now, so, the thing about barn fires, and what starts a lot of them, especially in the olden days, is they use a lot of torch for lights. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of wood in barns. Yep, we got hay and sawdust in barns. So, that's where this kind of situation comes in, where the fire interacts between the particles of what's in there, like sawdust. Now, thankfully, we don't have torches in our own home, because a lot of the stuff that you do this experiment with is actually in your own household. So, please, do not do this at home for this one. Are we ready? Yeah. All right. Whoa. And that is the fireball. Thank you. Yeah. What'd you think?
I liked it.
Was that fun?
Okay, I'm not gonna help them.
All right.
check over here, then we'll probably keep going.
Yeah, any questions about it? Or be in line for a while? No, just no. Alright, you guys have a wonderful night.
Here, Mama's gonna buy it for us.
Am I gonna buy 2 of these?
I think you Here, Mama's gonna buy 2 fish, and then you come with one. David.
None of my buddies are showing up.
Cool. Sounds good. Sorry.
Smell of fried pickle, I know, it's great.
Hang on, man. What about Mom? No. Listen.
Since I have no viewers, I'm ending the stream now. I'm gonna go over to Instagram. Hopefully I can get some more views there. Bye.